Morning, guys. How are you all doing? Just got loaded up, got the trash out for the day. We had a rainstorm actually come through out of nowhere, which was insane.
There's nothing like a nice morning rain shower before we get the day started.
There was zero rain in the forecast, and it just opened up and downpoured. So about an hour delayed here this morning. It's going to be a beautiful day though. It's supposed to get pretty warm. I will say the leaves are dropping like crazy. If you remember my neighbors I showed you a couple days ago, it is pretty much empty at this point, all of them. So the leaf cleanups are definitely going to be starting just as soon as we finish up the mowing route. So we got some that have been on bi-weekly. We're going to hit those. Truck's still not warmed up enough. We're gonna hit those, and yeah, then we're gonna be starting leaf cleanups and then also starting our transition towards snow. So, oh yeah, somehow or another I accidentally deleted out of yesterday's video. When we went and looked at the truck, I was kind of editing and then we got sidetracked with that whole thing. But we got the mower fixed, and it was just a battery. That's all it was, just a battery. So we got the battery, threw it in, not a big deal, but I deleted it out of the video on accident. So, or edited it out, I should say. But guys, 2 mowers, not completely empty, just under 17 gallons of fuel, 54 bucks. That's just for 2 mowers. Make sure you guys are charging accordingly. Mr. Cohen's still broken. Brought him out of retirement. All right, so we just got here to this big one. Not typically one I would want to do by myself, but it's okay. TQ wanted to take the day off with her sister, and they're gonna go do some Christmas shopping, that whole spiel, and just have a girls' day, dinner, lunch, whatever. I don't know what they're gonna be all partaking in, but she's gonna enjoy her day, and she deserves it. So let's get to it. The wind is not working in my favor, as you can see. My plan was to just blow these up the hillside and then just work them into the wood line real quick with the backpack blower, but the wind is literally blowing straight at me here. So I'm going to go ahead and use the bagger once I get them onto the lawn and bag them, and then just take them and dump them into the woods. I think it's going to be the fastest way to just do this part right here, and then when we get to the other side, you'll see where I use the wind to my advantage, but this just ain't going to work. as I'm bagging here, I'm like, man, I'm getting a ton of blowout for some reason on that right side, which you typically always will get a little bit with a bagger, but I didn't realize that I never dropped the deck. So yeah, that was my fault here, as you'll see me stop. I saw that truck and trailer out of the corner of my eye and instantly knew there was no way they were going to fit in between my setup and the yard here that I'm working on. So I went ahead and loaded everything up, moved the mower out of my way. The neighbors here are pretty cool, so I wanted to go ahead and back up here because more trucks kept pulling up as I was getting there. So I wanted to make it as easy for them to get by as possible. And as you can see, it was a whole little mini convoy of them. I went ahead and decided I was going to tuck the truck off the side of the road here into the neighbor's lawn a little bit. They're typically pretty cool with those, so it shouldn't be a big deal. I just didn't want to block them if they came back up that road, because this road's pretty much a one-way in. All right, guys, so I wanted to really show the bagger in use. A bunch of people have had a ton of questions about it. Works really well, guys. You just have to slow down. The biggest problem I see guys doing is they try to go as fast as like when you're typically mowing with the chute this wide open. Can't do that in leads. You can't do that with almost any bagger. You can't go full speed. You got to give it time to do what it's doing. It's basically like a vacuum sweeper. You know, you got to give it time to get through the system. So this bagger works really well. People just need to slow it down a bit. But that little bit right there, we got 4 bags off of. We're gonna go ahead and go dump them real quick. I mainly just wanted to gather this area because they're coming from the neighbors. It'll be covered up again. So I'll explain to you a little bit about what I'm doing here. So over to the left of the property is where all the trees on this side are. And the leaves are literally probably a foot thick over here. So using the bagger in that exact area, I would be filling it up probably every like 6 to 10 feet. So it's just not the fastest way to do it. And this is kind of where I made a little mistake by coming to this property without TQ. Mainly I needed a couple blowers, or at least my big blower, which I did not bring because honestly I did not anticipate this many leaves being down on this property just yet. We actually came by here last week and it was barely even covered at all. So a lot changed here in the week, and we'll definitely be putting the blower on the truck moving forward here, because this would have probably saved, if I'd had the big blower, it'd probably save me an hour worth of time. But got to get the backpack blower here. So typically this customer does not continue on through November. Probably would need a good solid 1 or 2 possible leaf cleanups. But we'll see if they have us come back in a couple weeks. I'll send them a message. Really good customer, long time customer. I think it's been with us now, shoot, 10 years. Yeah, probably at least 10, I'd say. We're in year, oh man, what is it? 2011, so 9, 13, heading into year 14. So crazy how fast it goes. I can remember when I first started, people were like, hey, don't do it, no money in it, too much competition. And I mean, guys, that was 13, 14 years ago. I'm sure they're still saying the same thing to you today. The thing is unfortunately people are getting lazier, so therefore, you know, a labor intensive job like this are only going to be needed more, well, at least till they replace us with robots. You guys know about that, which they will do at some point, but until that happens, you know, we're very needed. So yeah, might be the last time we see that one for the year, and I guess we'll wait and find out. But beautiful day out here. That one there, I probably should have waited till I had TQ with me. Let me see, I got here about 9:40 to 1 o'clock. Yeah, 1 o'clock. So took a long time, but when you're doing everything on your own, it's kind of what it takes. Alright guys, so I went and checked another property. You guys have seen it a lot. I'm not gonna throw the customer under the bus, but we warned her earlier this year. We showed up and the neighbor had mowed it, and you know, we don't like wasting our time and our fuel and everything, so I showed up there before I came to this one, and it had been push mowed and not trimmed or anything. It needed trimmed. And anyway, so this happened earlier, I don't know, maybe 4 months ago or so. We showed up and it had been push mowed by the neighbor. She told us that they had bought a push mower and, you know, offered to do it, yada yada yada, whatever. So I told her, I said, you know, hey, just want to let you know, this is a waste of our time. Please let us know if it's going to happen again. So in our business here, we have the motto that, you know, we give a warning, you know, or at least, you know, a nice a message, you know, hey, please don't do this. Well, they did it again, didn't notify us, and so anyways, that's termination for us as a customer. I've used the term fired in the past, but people always get so offended. You can't fire a customer, only the customer can fire you. You work for them. Well, that is true, but we also, you know, have the obligation to keep somebody on and also let somebody go. So maybe it's not the proper word to use, firing, but we can terminate their service. Just like in our storage business, you know, somebody doesn't pay their bill or store something that we see on camera they're taking in, like a propane tank or something like that, for example, tries to sleep in the unit, anything like that, that's breaking our rules as the business owners. So yeah, they can be terminated for that. So this customer is going to be terminated. I'm going to send her an email when we get home just saying, hey, your services are not going to be happening anymore. This is why. That'll be professional, always keep it professional.